All right. So Joe Biden. Joe Biden is talking about Bidenomics, and with Bidenomics comes commonomics. Oh, you heard me. Common, spelled Kamanomics. So in other words, they're going from Bidenomics to Kamalanomics, but they're calling it commonomics. So first of all, let's talk about Bidenomics, because Joe Biden is saying we're going to have a soft landing. Is he talking about taking a dump and having a soft stool or a soft bowel moment? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. But he snapped at a reporter because he's telling them to, hey, start writing it that way. He's telling the media, here's how to write your stories.
The U.S. beat inflation, Mr. President.
Yes. I told you we're going to have a soft landing. We're going to have a soft landing. My policies are working. Start writing that way, okay?
And Mr. President,
start writing that way. Follow the orders. You know, if I was Joe Biden, and this was like my, obviously he got forced out, because of his old age. He can't remember anything. But at this point, Biden, don't give an F. Show up at a press conference meeting with no pants on, okay? Or either that was a beer in your hand, something like that. You should right now have I don't give an F kind of feeling right now, Biden. I think you're a scumbag person, but seriously, he's telling the press to write it this way, write it this way, write it this way. But here's what the press is going to be talking about, because Bidenomics has failed. Move aside Trumponomics and Bidenomics. You're seeing it properly. You're not blind. You're not blind. Commonomics. Commonomics. Kamalanomics. Mamalamomics. Mamalomomics. I don't know. But here we got that douchebag, Robert Reich, talking about it. So shout out to Case Study QB.
Joining me now is Robert Reich, former Secretary of Labor and Professor of Public Policy at UC Berkeley. I'm tempted to go on about how what Trump left for Joe Biden was the COVID pandemic and the economic crater that it left our economy in, but I'm going to let you talk. You wrote a Substack called Kamalanomics. Tell me what that is and what you think it will mean.
Hey, Robert. It looks like you was eating a lot of booty. Look like you're all up the DNC's wazoo, the donkey butt. You're smiling and gritting like an idiot. You do realize people are struggling to make ends meet, right?
When she starts to lay out her plans.
Well, Joy, I think it's going to be a combination, obviously, of Biden-Harris economics. But I think what we will probably hear about or see later this week is Kamala Harris going off on her own and emphasizing specifically ways to bring down the costs of food and fuel and also rents. Those are the three things that are irritating consumers the most. And I think, and I hope that the way she does approach these is through attacking monopolies, because monopolies are really...
You're expecting Kamala to do all of this? What, are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Seriously, Bobby boy, are you dumb?
In all three of these sectors, monopolies are causing prices to stay very, very high, even though overall inflation is coming down.
Right, and so you talk about this a lot on your social media, that essentially you've got price gouging, that you've got,
Hold on. Hey, let's talk about Kamala's plan. Let's talk about Kamala's plan. First of all, here, shout out to Gritty is the way. All right. Inflation. Let's see who you really are. Show us old school classic Fred, Coca-Cola classic Fred from Scooby-Doo. Corporate grade. Huh. Well, how's Kamala going to take on corporate? I said corporate. All right. Anyways, see, I'm getting secondhand Joe Menchia by watching a Joe Biden video. Corporate greed. How's Kamala going to take on corporate greed? Well, friends, here's how Kamala's going to do it. I want all of you to sit back, relax, and listen to the big brain tactics of Kamala the Cop Harris. Kamala, Take it away and take a bow.
What else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up. That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously, very seriously. And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up, it has a direct impact on the quality of life for all people in our country. So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously.
I'm sorry to you, my audience. I should not have done that to any of you. That was really violence. But you guys need to know how stupid our political class really is, and I am afraid that some of you might be impacted by the vibes of stupidity coming from Kamala Harris, because that was a nothing burger. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard anyone say. Okay, now look, I've been covering politics for quite some time. I'm giving my analysis and perspective and point of view, but she ain't got no plan. Now, anything could change, but just hold on. Let's pull up this little fancy thing called the campaign website, because I'm not being mean, but I am refreshing the page. She's asking for money. No policy on the economy. A whole lot of nothing here. Look at this. But there's plenty at the store here. Look at this. You got plenty at the store here. You got your coach. Oh, they updated something. I apologize. They did. A Team Harris Waltz hoodie. Look at that. Established 2024. Woo! Woo! Keep on going for those home run homers, Team Kamala. You got your hats. You got your retro Kamala Harris T-shirt for $32. You know, but how are you going to do it in inflation? How are people going to buy all this stuff? Bobby boy, listen. I don't want to call you stupid, but you're kind of stupid.
Big fast food chains that are like, they're going to keep the prices high, then suddenly they can sell the same burger for 99 cents. Or, food companies that everything's high, and then all of a sudden they miraculously can cut them.
Hey, Flex Diggs, you better keep on twerking in those booty shorts, man. The Democrats ain't going to get them votes by themselves. You hear me?
Nothing's changed. So part of this, I guess, is the magic R word, regulation. Yeah.
Well, it's regulation, absolutely, but it's also using anti-monopoly laws. Now, the Biden administration has done it, I think, more effectively than any administration in recent years, but there's much more to do. And I think Kamala Harris should, and hopefully will, promise to give more resources to the antitrust division of the Justice Department and also the Federal Trade Commission, both of which have been very aggressive in terms of attacking monopolies, but with more resources, presumably they could do even more.
Yeah. The difference between the Trump sort of way of doing the economy and the Biden and now Harris way of doing it, it could not be more stark. We're going to put this up on the screen. Donald Trump, he just really believes in cutting taxes for the wealthy.
Okay, wait a minute. Stop. Pause. Okay? I'm going to steal that from Abba and Preach. Pause. I'm stealing that from them. Pause. Okay. First of all, let's talk about policy here. Because we're seeing that right here. Okay. First of all, Trump extend tax cuts for the wealthy. Drill more. Drill, baby, drill. Deregulation. Cut green jobs. No tax on tips. First of all, Kamala stole it from him. But what? Lower prices on food, lower prices on housing, lower healthcare costs, raise minimum wage. Wait a minute. Hold up. Something ain't right. Asking for money. Hey, BSDNC, where'd you pull that out of your wazoo? Where'd you pull that out of? Where'd you get that from? I don't see anything like that here. Meet Kamala Harris. Okay. Not seeing anything on policy. All right. Meet Timmy Boy. Tim. Unless I'm going blind, audience. Hey, this is a chance where you get to say, aha, we get to own this guy, Kit Cabell from Hard Lens Media. Take action. Take action. What's take action? Asking for money. Put me in, coach. No, don't put me in, coach. Pull me out. Pull me out. Pull me out. Events. Okay, we got events. Phone bank, all this stuff. What is this? Okay. Nothing on policy. Oh, wait, hold on. We go back to the store. That's it. $60 for a hooded sweatshirt. That's it. Do we see anything? Anything at all? Anything at all for policy? I don't see that. Now, hold on. Let's go to Trump's campaign here real quick. All right. Trump. Donald Trump campaign. Hold on. Trump 2024. Hold on. Let's go ahead and look at this. Let's go ahead and pull this up here. Why isn't my internet showing me Trump 2024? Why aren't you doing that? There we go. Internet, are you trying to deny me this of seeing the Trump platform? All right, platform. Well, you don't have to like his policies, but okay. And inflation and make America affordable again. You got all these policies here. Why is it? Hold on. Look, so far again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, going all the way down to 20. I'm seeing 20 different policies here. Go to Kamala's page. Gonna hit the refresh button. What is this? Where the hell did they get this from? BSDNC, where'd you get this from? Are these her official policies? Is this from one of her staffers? Are you sure on this?
Extending those tax cuts to infinity, doing more tax cuts, drilling more. We're already drilling the most of anyone in every country in history, deregulating the economy so oil companies and drug companies and stuff can do whatever they want, getting rid of green energy jobs. And he's saying no tax on tips, but that includes wealthy earners who could do that. On the Harris side, she's talking about lowering prices on food, lowering prices on housing, lowering healthcare costs, raising the minimum wage, which is really popular and really important. And she also says no tax on tips, but for food service workers. Filling in those the first three things, right? That's the key is the how.
Freddie G. Doggy position missionary. Hey, you forgot reverse cowgirl. That's the best one. Get up and go see the White House counselor. Shame on you.
How do you lower those prices?
Well, exactly. And Trump is falling back on the old Republican trickle-down economics, the notion that if you give tax breaks to people at the top, the richest and big corporations, the benefits will trickle down eventually to everybody else. Now, we saw with Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush and Donald Trump when he tried at the end of 2017 and 2018 to do his big tax cuts that went to the rich and big corporations. Nothing trickled down. Nothing.
No, yeah, it never does. And I mean, the idea that you can improve the economy and we don't even talk about the poor enough, for poor folks and middle class folks, by giving super rich people tax cuts, they pocket the extra money. Giving poorer people money, if you give the poor money, they spend it all back into the economy. They go right to Walmart and spend it. So it makes more sense to benefit those at the lower economic end, right? Am I doing
Why is my audience being mean? My audience is being crude and mean. Stop being mean. Who taught you to talk like this? Who told you to be mean? And I better not see anyone in the comment section. We learned it from you, Kit. We learned it from watching you.
I did 1 year of econ. Maybe that was
I'll give you an A, Joy, for what you just said. Look, the reality is that if you raise the minimum wage, and you provide a larger, what's called the earned income tax credit, which is a bigger sort of refundable boost to a lot of people at the lower end of the income, what you're doing is putting more money into people's pockets. And as you just pointed out, if people have more money in their pockets, they're going to spend it. And if they spend it, that creates more jobs and more economic activity. It's not complicated, but trickle-down economics really is a hoax. It's one of the biggest hoaxes the Republicans have ever created, and they keep on doing it even though it doesn't work, and even though people are catching on to the fact it doesn't work.
Brilliant job. However, we got to have a palate cleanser after sitting through that crap. Give it up for Nick from RBN.
Kamala Harris's economic policy is being written by BlackRock. Kamala Harris has chosen her economic advisors, and surprise, surprise, they worked at BlackRock. Once again, BlackRock is guaranteed to win another United States election. BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Boeing, Raytheon, these are the capitalist institutions and oligarchs that actually run this country. This is exactly why Kamala Harris has been very vague about her policy platform. She doesn't want people to know that BlackRock is writing it. Bernie Sanders and AOC are literally endorsing BlackRock economic policy. BlackRock
doesn't surprise me. After Bernie Sanders admitting that he was a nutless wonder and a cuck,
directly funds and profit from war and genocide. So no wonder the Biden administration has been obsessed with starting and maintaining conflicts. BlackRock is already licking their lips at the prospect of rebuilding Ukraine. BlackRock is also directly arming, funding, and supporting the genocide of the Palestinians in Gaza. But you guys think Kamala Harris is going to stop that? Brian Dees, the economic advisor for Kamala Harris, also works in the Biden administration. Are you guys starting to see how the revolving door works? There is a direct revolving door of corruption between these capitalist institutions and their executives, then transitioning into working for government and crafting policy. And once their time in government is up, they return back to the private sector, take giant salaries as payment for doing their bidding. This is what the real deep state looks like.
It's all one big club, and you ain't in it.
American democracy is completely cooked, and so many Americans don't even realize it yet.
People are waking up, not as fast as I would like them to, but people are waking up to the madness. People are waking up to the stupidity. People are waking up to the fact that we have a system that is falling apart right before our very eyes. And I know we're going to get some messages from people like, well, gee, how come you're not going after Republicans? At this point, what more can I say about the Republican Party that hasn't been said? You know what? Hey, in defense of Donald Trump, at least he has policies. They may not be things I don't agree with, but at least there's a point of reference. It's there for anyone to see. Kamala has nothing on a website. Now, again, anything can happen. Anything can happen between now and when I post this clip, because when I do clip it. But Bidenomics isn't working. I'm checking my invisible watch, and I see nothing. Just like Bidenomics working. Now there's Kamalanomics. They're hyping that up. But yet she has no policy. And somehow BSDNC was able to pull out those policy positions or whatever the hell they were and say, like, oh, here's what she's running on. I don't see that point of reference on her campaign website. Until then, let's go check it out. But it would behoove her to do that sometime before the DNC convention. Hey, folks, let's have democracy in the chat. It's a final segment for this, or a final point for this. What do you think that Kamala Harris's campaign team is going to put some policies on her campaign website before the DNC convention? Type 1 for yes, they will, and they will be magnificent. Type 2, they'll probably do it afterwards. I wonder how many 2s will be in the chat. I wonder.